So let's take a look at the reporting now. What is data without actually using it? So what I have opened right now is one of the most commonly used reports. We ship about 70-75 reports with Inspect out of the box, and a lot of them look like this one and have similar functionality. So a lot of reports have many parameters to only look at the data that you want to look at. In some of the reports you can configure what has to be shown. So in this case, in the chart, I've chosen to show the defects. I could also pick, let's say, percentage okay, percentage bad. In the results, I have chosen to show me how many defects there are on average per vehicle. And I'll show you the drill down functionality that we have in the report. So in this case, the scratch defect type, the concern type, really stands out. So I want to take a look at that one. I'll click here. I could also click here on the scratch name. And that will bring me to a list of parts that is affected by the scratch concern. So roof and fender stand out. Let's take a look at the fender. And if we have the location information in the defect, it will tell me how many were found on the left and on the right. So for 17, I don't have location information. The others are with location information, the other 16, and I can see that there are 13 on the left. So that stands out. So let's take a look at the 13 scratches on the left fender. I can click at any point, at any stage in this report on this hyperlink of the number of defects. And that will show me a list of units that is affected by this combination of concern and part and location. It gives me a bit more information. I can see when the defect was found. I can see the exact detail of the defect found, including the length of the scratch, because I'm asking that question to the operator. I can see the impact. Is it minor? Is it scrap? Is it major? I can see how many were found. In this case, there were 2 found a few times. Other cases, only 1 scratch. And if I click on a hyperlink, like here, it brings me to the single unit history report, where I can see the complete history of a vehicle. So I can see some master data, for example, the production date, serial number, the plant, etc. It will show some images of the defects that were found. I can see the status of all the defects here. I can see the checklist information, and that brings a pretty good picture of the current status of the vehicle. So I can see that there is still a lot to be inspected, a lot of open checklist questions. Another report that I would like to show is the concern spectrum report, or as a lot of customers call it, the heat map report, where I'll just run it for data for this year for our demo environment. And it shows me a list of inspection views per product. So for the product auto, I have these 5 views, and I can click on this one, for example, with 27 defects, where it will show me a heat map for that specific inspection view. And I can see in comparison where most of the defects are found. So I can see that I have a problem area here and a problem area here. If I want to see more detail, I could increase, for example, the number of rows or columns and get more detailed information. If I click on this quantity 10, it will open a trend chart for the defects, and it will tell me how many defects were found. This can also be changed to a scatter image or a list of defects, and then from there I can again drill down based on the unit. For CAD models, we have the same functionality. There is a limitation in the web software that we use for reporting that doesn't allow live CAD models. So we have a Windows client for that, where you can create a concern spectrum report or a concern scatter report for a specific view. Just like in Data Collect, you can rotate, you can zoom, etc. You can also use the same bookmarks as the operator has to see the affected area. And what you can do here as well is you can say, I only want to have this information for the scratch. And I know that this is a defect issue on scratch. And if I click here, I'll have a bit more information here. Then the concern scatter works exactly the same. So I can zoom in, zoom out. I can use the bookmarks as the operator does, and I can see which visual represents which type of concern. So I can see here the scratches, and I can see if I only want to see thin paint, for example. I know that I have an issue in this area, so this could really help in the analysis of what's going on the shop floor.